from Bugoma, Gongwa, MONBASA, MVITA. Topic: it's possible. I'm talking about this thing that is very difficult to find. This thing that is elusive to most of us. Throughout history, people have been following it, trying to ensnare it, to contain it, to have it, but it keeps eluding them. I'm talking of this thing we call peace. Many people have been looking for peace, but it has become a mirage. Throughout history, we read of wars, strife, countries trying to get together. They get together for a short while, everything goes awry. After the First World War, people thought things were going to settle down. After a short while again, they'd been called back to war. That was the Second World War. When it ended, people breathed a sigh of relief, knowing that everything had come to an end, that we were going to have a long time of peace. Little did they know that a short while after the cessation of the Second World War, there will be other smaller wars that would occur in between. During the time of war, it's very trying. Many things are very tragic. And people wish to have peace. But ways of ensnaring peace have become difficult for us to understand. I'm going to talk about a man who, out of these hard situations, was able to broker a peace deal that has helped his country. I'm talking about this man who, when he took power, he'd just finished a battle with a country that he considered to be his enemy, and the country that also considered his country to be their enemy. After a short while, he ascended to power. And he made sure he had the best that he could for his army. Best equipment, best training, and recruited a good army. Then his time for glory came, and he and some other members that were aligned to him waged a very big war. But like war goes, he did not succeed in suppressing the so-called enemy, because the so-called enemy hit back with such a power that he could not be able to withstand. The country surrendered. Then he thought of a possibility. Things that had been happening around the world. He realized that sometimes peace talks, negotiations, talks can be able to earn more than the actual physical war. So he decided to make peace to his country with the enemy. He got into a plane, went to the land of the enemy, entered into the parliament of the enemy. And people wondered, a man who organized a big army to fight for victory and glory for our country, going to the enemy's country, entering the enemy's parliament? No, this is a traitor. They called him so. But some of the people in the country, most of the people, saw that he had done a great thing for the country. I know you're wondering who I'm talking about. I'm talking about a great son of Egypt, Anwar Sadat. Yes, why do I call him a great son? Because when people are thinking of the way of war, he decided to go the way of peace. And what did he gain out of that peace agreement? After a while, he brought back to his country a trophy called Sinai Peninsula. I know even now, a country like Rafa should be saying thank you for this man's wisdom. But to some people, it was not pleasing. So some organized. And for what this man believed in, for what this man did, somebody found that the only way to reward him was by shooting him dead. Yes, he died, but he left that legacy. He left that peace. And up to now, Egypt has enjoyed a very peaceful and cordial relationship with the country of Israel. They were enemies. He dared to go to the enemy. He dared to enter into the parliament of the enemy. And the victory of peace was greater than the victory of war. He was a victor who died for the good of Egypt. Certain countries also in the area have followed suit. Saudi Arabia and some other countries have also seen the way of peace. It is an elusive thing. We try to ensnare it, but it's always evading us. But for those who manage to ensnare this thing, they have a lot of joy with them. Progress starts. Things move forward. They are able to think positively. They are able to approach life positively. They are able to reap the fruits of this elusive thing. Why am I talking about this elusive thing? Some countries in the world have found it easy to engage in physical war. I'm going to talk about countries that are waging wars around the world, and not call them by names. But you have seen the destruction that is happening in those countries. Things that were built with a lot of money, organizations that have been put up with a lot of thinking, are all destroyed during the war. You almost get back to square one again. Everything you've built is damaged. People have died. Trauma has entered into society. You start by treating other people for trauma. The very things you had built again, you have to rebuild them again. And not only rebuilding, because the first time you rebuild, when the distracted material is not there. Now you have to clean. That is one cost. And then again, you have to get material to start all over. The lives also are shattered. So I'm calling upon those who have the mind and wisdom of this great man. This man who gave it all for his country. He gave his very own life. But the fruits that he left for his country are visible up to now. His country has progressed because of the act that he did. What others called being a traitor, betrayal of the country. But the majority now can see that he had the best. He thought the best. He did the best that was available for his country. I'm urging people in that area. I know it's a volatile area. And when you talk, people are always gauging, weighing where do you belong. I don't side with any place. I only think of human rights, peace, truth, and thinking of being honest with one another, being truthful, giving each other their rights. Peace will bear greater dividends for that area. Peace will bear a lot of progress. I'm remembering before the thing that happened, gliders coming from Rafah and all those things. Before that, there was a peace between those countries that would make one wonder, were we headed now towards having total peace? Unfortunately, what happened. But in the African language, we say, when you fall down, you don't lie down. You wake up again. You get up again. Try to find your way. It would be the best for the world if these countries would consider, and the neighboring countries would consider, to take the route that a great man of Egypt, Anwar Sadat, did, the way of peace. When one calls for peace, don't see him as a traitor. He has the best interests of that region at heart. For those who are for peace, and you get this message, please eat the fruit of the wisdom of peace. Keep peace in your zone. Try everything possible to ensnare this elusive thing called peace. For when you get it, there'll be bliss in that area. I pray for you. People from all over the world pray for you, that you'll be able to ensnare this thing and trap it in that zone, just like Egypt did. We thank God for that man, Anwar Sadat, for the example he set in that zone, and pray that the sacrifice he gave for that peace will touch your hearts so that you will see peace before war. That is my take for now.